Emma hurried into a quiet café in New York, her breath uneven and her hands trembling. Just moments ago, panic had taken over her entire world. Her baby was missing. Every second without her child felt unbearable, like the world was slipping away from her with terrifying speed that she couldn't control anymore. She had left her baby with the nanny for only a short while, trusting everything would be fine. But when she returned, the stroller was empty. No note, no explanation, just silence. Fear gripped her heart tightly as she ran through the busy streets, asking strangers, calling out desperately. Someone nearby mentioned seeing a baby carried into a nearby cafe. Without thinking twice, Emma rushed toward it, hope and fear battling inside her chest. Her mind raced with horrible possibilities, yet she forced herself forward, refusing to imagine the worst as she pushed open the cafe door. The bell above the door rang softly, but everything else felt strangely still. Emma stepped inside, scanning every corner with wide, desperate eyes. And then she saw it. Across the room, seated calmly, was a man in an expensive suit, gently feeding a baby from a bottle. Her heart stopped. Her baby, in his arms. Emma froze completely, unable to move even a step. The scene didn't make sense. The man looked composed, almost peaceful, while her entire world was falling apart. Her thoughts clashed, trying to understand what she was witnessing in that moment. Who was he? Why was he holding her child? Questions flooded her mind, but her body refused to react. The man looked nothing like a threat, yet nothing about this situation felt normal. His presence carried power, confidence, and something else she couldn't quite understand at first glance. Slowly the man lifted his eyes and noticed her. Their gazes locked instantly. Instead of panic, his expression softened. There was no guilt, no fear, only calm recognition. That only confused Emma more. Her chest tightened as she tried to make sense of his quiet, steady demeanor. "You must be Emma," he said in a low, composed voice. Hearing her name from a stranger sent a chill through her body. How did he know her? Her instincts screamed at her to rush forward, to take her baby and run, but something held her in place. The baby looked peaceful in his arms, drinking quietly as if nothing was wrong. That sight both comforted and unsettled her. At least her child was safe. But why here? Why with him? Emma's thoughts spun uncontrollably, her fear slowly mixing with confusion and hesitation. The cafe remained quiet, as if the rest of the world had faded away. Emma finally forced her feet to move, taking slow, careful steps toward the man. Every step felt heavy, filled with uncertainty. Her eyes never left her baby, as if afraid the moment might suddenly disappear. The man adjusted the bottle slightly, making sure the baby was comfortable. His movements were gentle, almost practiced, which only deepened Emma's confusion. He didn't seem like a stranger who had randomly picked up a child. There was intention in everything he did, calm and deliberate. Standing just a few feet away now, Emma felt her emotions crashing together. Fear, anger, relief, and disbelief. Her voice trembled as she finally found the strength to speak. The question on her lips carried everything she was feeling, hanging in the air between them, waiting for an answer. Emma finally rushed forward, her fear overpowering everything else. She carefully but quickly took her baby into her arms, holding the child tightly against her chest. Tears filled her eyes as relief washed over her. Her baby was safe, warm, and unharmed, and nothing else mattered in that overwhelming moment. Daniel immediately stepped back, raising his hand slightly to show he meant no harm. His calm expression didn't change, but there was understanding in his eyes. He knew exactly what she must be feeling. "I'm sorry," he said softly, his voice steady, trying not to alarm her further. Emma held her baby closer, still breathing heavily. Her eyes, however, remained locked on him, filled with suspicion and confusion. "How do you know my name?" she asked, her voice shaking. The question carried fear, but also a demand for answers she desperately needed right now from him. Daniel nodded slightly, as if expecting that question. He kept a respectful distance, careful not to make any sudden moves. "We met briefly at a charity event last month," he explained calmly. "You spoke about single mothers and your struggles. I remembered you because your story stayed with me afterward." Emma blinked, trying to recall that night. It had been crowded and overwhelming, and she hadn't expected anyone important to remember her. The realization only deepened her confusion. "That still doesn't explain how you have my baby," she said, her tone firmer now, despite the trembling in her voice. Daniel took a slow breath before answering. "Your nanny accidentally left the stroller near my office building," he said. "She was distracted, maybe panicked, and walked away without realizing. When I saw the baby alone, I couldn't ignore it. I brought your child somewhere safe immediately." Emma's heart skipped at his words. The thought of what could have happened sent a chill through her body. She looked down at her baby, brushing a hand gently over the child's head. The fear slowly shifted into overwhelming relief, though her emotions were still tangled and difficult to process. "They waited there for a while, hoping someone would return," Daniel continued. "When no one came, I remembered you and thought of the event. I checked nearby places and brought the baby here, thinking it would be easier for you to find. I never meant to frighten you." Emma listened carefully, his explanation slowly making sense. His tone carried sincerity, not arrogance or deception. She studied his face, searching for any sign of dishonesty, but found none. Instead, she saw patience and a quiet concern that felt genuine, something she hadn't expected from someone like him. Her grip on the baby softened slightly as her breathing steadied. The anger that had rushed through her began to fade, replaced by gratitude she hadn't anticipated. You stayed the whole time?" she asked quietly, her voice now filled with a different kind of emotion altogether. Daniel gave a small, gentle nod. "I couldn't just leave," he said simply. "Some things are more important than business meetings or schedules." His words were calm, but they carried weight. For a moment, Emma saw beyond his wealth and status, noticing the humanity behind his composed exterior. Emma lowered her gaze, holding her baby close as tears slipped down her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered sincerely. Daniel offered a faint smile in return. As she turned to leave, something inside her felt different. This unexpected encounter had changed something quietly, leaving behind a connection neither of them could ignore.